welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I posted any dog related content, so Maddie and I are back today and we're excited to discuss freshly cooked versus raw dog food because this seems to be a pretty popular debate in the dog food world. So if that sounds interesting for you, then keep on watching. More and more pet owners out there are starting to do their own research on dog food. People are learning that feeding their dogs the right food increases their lifespan, energy levels, overall health, and helps them avoid any serious health complications. There seems to be new information and research almost daily telling us why highly processed kibble is just not the best choice for our pets. We see the recalls and the controversies, and of course we just start to second guess ourselves and wonder if the convenience and affordability is worth sacrificing the health of our best friends. Isn't that right? Usually when dog owners decide they no longer want to feed kibble, they head to the internet, and the first thing they are faced with is the freshly cooked versus raw dog food debate. In order for us to understand and make an informed decision on what's going to be the best choice for us and our dogs, let's first dive into what these topics even mean. So what is freshly cooked and what is raw? Raw dog food is kind of exactly like it sounds. It's raw, uncooked meat, usually still on the bone. The bones in raw dog food are either whole or ground, and they usually contain some organ meats as well, whether that's kidneys, livers, hearts. Some people feed chicken gizzards. We often see that raw eggs are included as well. And the meat source could be anything from poultry, fish, or beef, although some people get a little bit more adventurous with the meat choices because they have access to some local butchers. Okay, you can get down. Usually we'll see that they contain some uncooked fruit or vegetables, or maybe both as well. The problem with feeding your dog a raw diet from one of the big commercial brands is that the ingredients are not usually USDA certified for humans and might be made from animal carcasses that are unsafe. And by unsafe, I mean they were rejected for human consumption, so I mean, do we really want to be feeding that to your dog? This means you could potentially be feeding your dog meat from animals who were seriously ill, who died on the farm, or were given heavy doses of medications to combat whatever disease or sickness that they did have. You might be thinking right now, but Shelby, I've seen so many videos and studies and articles and posts about people raving about raw dog food for their dogs. So what's so bad about it? Is feeding raw really worth it? Let's take a look at some of the risks and benefits involved with feeding raw diet to your dogs. It's important to note that not all raw dog food that's available is made with bad quality meats or questionable ingredients. In fact, many people actually formulate their own raw dog food diets with local meat from their local butcher shops. Some people might even do their own hunting. Hey, that's great. People who feed raw will often tell you that that's the way that dogs have eaten historically. Now, I've heard this debate, I've gotten this comment on my other dog food videos, and my debate back is that my dog, my 9-pound poodle, has been very domesticated from its ancestor, the wolf. And so I would then argue that the digestive tract and just the overall dog itself that I have now is pretty far from a wolf. And if my dog Maddie, my 9-pound fluffy white poodle, was to live in the wild, I really don't have much hope for her being able to hunt and kill her own animals. She might get like a squirrel if she was lucky, maybe a mouse, but overall, I just don't think that that is probable. People who feed raw also say that their dog has healthier skin, a shinier coat, increased energy, really clean teeth, and healthier stool thanks to the nutritional benefits that they're getting. However, since you're dealing with raw meat, even if you purchase the highest quality, you're still exposing yourself, your family, and your dog to some potential other health risks, so let's talk about those. If you're handling and feeding raw meats, then you're exposing yourself and those in your home to potentially Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli. Some veterinary researchers even found that 86% of raw food products contained potentially harmful bacteria. The bottom line is that you have to be careful when handling raw dog food products because humans are easily affected. These pathogens are more likely to affect people who have weakened immune systems, pregnant women, young children, newborns, and those over the age of 65. So these people could potentially become ill just from the dog eating its raw food and then licking their face. With raw food, you need to make sure that your dog is getting a completely balanced diet. Some studies do show that it can lead to nutritional imbalances if you're not specifically looking into the formula and nutrients. For example, if the raw diet is too high in fats or proteins, it can end up doing more harm than good. Lastly, since you're feeding bones, there's also a chance that your dog could choke, injure their tooth, or maybe suffer from an internal puncture on one of those sharp bone fragments if there were any in there. Not sold on feeding raw to your fur baby? Then keep watching. Maybe this next option sounds like a better fit for you. So let's look at what we know. We know that feeding kibble doesn't seem to be ideal and that there are some risks involved with feeding raw. But there is a third option that we're going to talk about now, and that is a freshly cooked diet. Fresh cooked dog food is essentially people food for dogs. If you guys watched any of my previous videos, you would have seen a dog food recipe that I did over a year ago now, almost 2 years, which is crazy. And then I did another version in the Instant Pot, and all of the ingredients were human ingredients, I will say, with the exception of some added nutrients and vitamins. These diets typically consist of hormone and antibiotic-free meat, along with fresh fruits and vegetables, and sometimes some grains. Some pet owners will also choose to add some other ingredients periodically, like liver or sardines or bones, etc. So these formulas are typically cooked at temperatures that safely kill off the dangerous pathogens without sacrificing all of the nutritional content of the food. So with freshly cooked, you don't have to worry about any bacteria contamination in your home. A fresh cooked food can provide your dog with a diet that is rich in nutrients and micronutrients without having to worry about any of the risks involved with raw food. There are plenty of benefits involved with feeding your dog a freshly cooked food. For one, you're going to be feeding your dog something that isn't highly processed and that is all natural, and you will know exactly what they're getting. With a fresh cooked diet, your dog will experience benefits like increased energy, lower risk for disease and illness, cleaner teeth, lower body odor, better digestion, all that good stuff. When pet owners opt to feed fresh cooked food, usually one of two things happens. One, they prepare and cook the food for their dogs themselves, or two, they purchase the dog food from a dog food subscription company. Let's take a closer look at both of these choices. As you guys may know, if you watched my previous videos on dog food, I prepared and cooked dog food myself for my dog Maddie for many years. The thing about this is there's no one size fits all, and you're never finished learning or researching. There's always more that you could learn and more information out there. As a pet owner choosing to prepare and cook homemade food for your dog, you are responsible for making sure that they have all the nutrients that they need in order to thrive. Unless you're an animal nutritionist, this involves a ton of research and willingness to learn continuously. I will admit it, and I've admitted it before, I am nowhere near perfect, and I never once admitted or said that the recipes that I was feeding Maddie were perfect. I was just doing my best with what was available to me with the resources and information that I could find out there. There are about 40 essential nutrients that dogs need in order to thrive. Recipes need to be analyzed and usually supplemented with some sort of nutrient or vitamin to help balance things out and make sure that the dogs are getting everything that they need. Okay, let's explore the second option of fresh cooked dog food, and that's ordering it from a dog food subscription company. After many years of preparing and cooking dog food myself, a Canadian company called KABBLE reached out to me and offered to send some foods for Maddie to try. I will link that video right up here for you guys. I was really excited to give it a try and see what Maddie thought of it because it was really similar to what I was already feeding Maddie. It was still fresh cooked dog food, which was great. That's exactly what I thought was the best fit for Maddie and for my family. The main difference was that KABBLE has animal nutritionists as part of their team, whereas I am not. So they ensure that all of their recipes are nutritionally balanced by providing a custom meal, custom diet for each individual dog's needs. So this means that they ask for a lot of additional information about your dog, just so that they can make sure that the diet that they are creating is going to be optimal for your dog. I felt really good knowing that the food was nutritionally balanced, and the fact that they were already made in like little portion size baggies made it so much easier because I knew exactly how much she was supposed to be getting a day. It was basically the exact same as what I was doing previously. I would store the food in the freezer, take one out the night before, and let it thaw in the fridge overnight, and that's what I would feed the following day. Maddie ended up absolutely loving the food, and I really love the convenience and, of course, the peace of mind. With a baby on the way, I know that things are going to be getting a lot more hectic around here, and not having to worry about cooking dog food is just one less thing that I have to worry about, and the fact that Maddie truly loves the food is just the cherry on top. Of course, it's so important for me to be transparent and honest with you guys, so I am in collaboration with KABBLE, and basically what that means is I create content for their YouTube channel, usually one video a month, in exchange for dog food for Maddie, which I pay the shipping for. Obviously, I know that not everyone has the ability to do this, but I really do stand behind KABBLE as an amazing Canadian dog food company that provides excellent nutrition for your dog. If KABBLE isn't available in your area, a Google search could probably bring up some other local dog food subscription companies because they are starting to pop up everywhere now with so many people who just don't want to feed kibble anymore. If price is a factor for you, you could do what I did initially, which is add some of the KABBLE food to what you're already feeding to help supplement that nutrition and make it stretch out a little bit longer. KABBLE also has something available called toppers, which is 25% of your dog's nutrition just in smaller portions. And basically you just add this into whatever you're already feeding, and then you can be assured with some peace of mind that your dog is getting those extra nutrients and vitamins. And you get to do it at a more affordable price point, which is really nice that they have that option. Here's what we know. Processed food and dry kibble is not what our dogs need to thrive and live a long and healthy life. But luckily, there are some other really great options, like feeding raw and feeding freshly cooked dog food. If you are feeding raw or you're considering feeding raw, just be aware of the potential health risks with handling and storing raw meat and know how to handle those safely. If you're considering fresh cooked, be sure to do a lot of research, especially if you're considering taking it into your own hands and preparing the dog food yourself. Remember that a fresh cooked food still provides all of the nutritional requirements that your dog needs without putting your dog's health at risk for nutritional imbalances or potentially dangerous bacteria. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it and you found it educational and that we helped clear some things up for you today. Let me know down below if you have any questions or comments and I'll do my best to get back to them. Have an awesome day, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Bye, everybody!